Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Melanie, your She Shed Scrapper. So today I am back with a 2-page layout using the Candid Moments collection from Close to My Heart. I've had quite a bit of this collection in my stash for quite a while, but I knew when I saw these photos with that light blue that the boys are wearing and my husband that I would use this collection. It just has that pretty much same color, and then I have navy, and I knew the collection had navy as well. So these are photos we got taken for the church directory, and we ended up buying them. And so I wanted to get quite a few on the page, and so I did end up printing a couple of them smaller. And in doing so, I decided that I could make a grid with the smaller ones, a larger one, and then use one of the Picture My Life cards from the collection. And so that is what I did for page 2. And then page 1, I just have the 2 photos, and I'm just going to place them side by side and then back those with just white currently. And then you will see that I will end up adding what looks like a mat. However, it is just strips of I think it's probably sapphire paper. For the background, I decided to use kind of that, I'll call it ombre, even though it's not the same color. I don't know if that really matters, but I liked that paper because it helped bring in the other colors from the collection to kind of help expand my embellishments. I then have that zip strip there from that same paper, I believe. And I decided to use that to kind of separate the pattern paper from the white background paper. Here is where I am adding that sapphire paper, making it almost look like another layer behind my photos. However, I only had one piece in the pack, and so I decided to cut it into strips and make it look like it goes all the way across instead. I am going to end up popping my photos up on some foam tape. That's what you kind of saw right there. And then I'm going to kind of do the same thing on page 1 with the sapphire strips. However, my photos were taller on page 2 than they are on page 1. And so that is why I have thicker strips here that I'm placing down, because I knew that more of that paper would show on page 1 than it would on page 2, if that makes sense. Hopefully it does. So once I have this all done, I believe, going to also pop up these photos on foam tape as well. Just giving the layout a little bit of dimension in maybe a different way than normal, I guess. Usually I'll just do some embellishments up on foam tape. This time I decided to add the photos. I wanted to use more of the Picture My Life cards. However, I just didn't like the way that they really looked layered like that. I thought it would be, I don't know, a good way to bring in more patterns, use up some of my stash. They just look out of place to me. And so I don't end up using any on page 1. I believe I use one more on page 2, but that is it. I apologize for seeming like I don't know what I do. A lot of times, if it's nice, I go out to the she shed and I scrapbook a lot. And then when it gets colder is when lately I've been doing my voiceovers. So there could be a week and a half in between creating and the voiceovers. And so seems like I don't know what I'm doing, even though I created this layout, but that would be why. But this is, I do add that kind of pink, I think they're flowers on that pink over there. It just helped bring in, again, another color and pattern. to the right hand side. And I felt like that didn't look as out of place as it did on page 1. So now that that's done, I have to kind of figure out what else to do, how else to embellish. In one way that I decided to embellish, I actually cut out that camera from a Picture My Life card. They have, I don't know, they had, I guess, because Close to My Heart is no longer in business. But with the Picture My Life cards, it was really nice because they had extra patterns, they had title ones, and they had kind of ones that were able to be fussy cut. So you really got a lot of variety in a Picture My Life pack, which was really nice. So I've used kind of one of each. The love kind of for a title, the one patterned one for a layering piece, and then I did fussy cut one. So I guess I did end up using 3 of the Picture My Life cards on this layout. And I just appreciate that there's so many different ways to use them. So I had bought multiple collections, and then the layout kits that they had as well, the workshops, I think they were called. And so I had lots of options with this layout. So a lot of the circular pieces that you are seeing actually came from the workshop, I believe, as did that bird at the top, I'm guessing. So just I have extra embellishments from that workshop that really helped kind of bring this layout together. So I had quite a bit of space on the right hand side of the entire layout. So those large circles came in really handy. And then I have multiple of the sticker sheets as well, because same thing, I had bought multiple collection packs and then had the workshop as well. So I did have quite a bit of variety left. So I did incorporate some of those circles and fun patterns there. There is an actual 12 by 12 sheet of paper that you could fussy cut circles like this. That half one that I'm kind of playing around with, that probably came from that sheet is my guess. I know that I fussy cut a lot of those. So again, just another way to kind of extend your stash, I guess, is by fussy cutting some of the images. So again, just kind of picking and choosing, I guess, where I embellish. I obviously wanted a larger cluster at the top. That sapphire does kind of stand out a lot more on page 1 because it is thicker. And so I felt like that was a good place to embellish to kind of tone that down a little bit. So I did embellish at the top and the bottom with that camera. Page 2, though, embellishing is more on the simpler side, just with the circles. And then I do add this tab or clip at the top. I thought that was a really cute place to add that, especially with that pattern behind it. Other than that, I don't know. It seemed like it took a while for this one to come together. Maybe just because I did have extra options. I know that I end up adding more to the right-hand side of the page as well. I think I find another sticker. And then I guess some leaves too, just to use some of these up. Again, I just have so much of this collection, which I think is gorgeous. And I actually might have a whole nother collection kit that I've set aside. I just can't remember. I love these colors together is really why I chose to buy so much of it. So I'm just really finishing off. You can see I did add some of the phrase stickers, some of the larger ones to the top cluster, and then a smaller one or two to the bottom. And then I just had a select number of hearts left on the sticker sheet. And so I'm just trying to figure out where to place these, just kind of playing around. And then I did actually forget, I brought this layout inside and I ended up adding stitching to it. It will not be shown in the photos on this video, so you will have to stay tuned for the December layout share – because I will have the stitching done. when I do the layout share there. So I will say I did add the white stitching to the top of the sapphire paper, and then the bottom of the sapphire paper on the bottom strip. So just a really fun way to kind of add more texture to it, maybe more dimension as well. So stay tuned for that layout share to get a sneak peek of that. And I forgot, I did add an epoxy circle to the middle of the camera just to kind of add, I guess, some shininess to that, make it look like a lens. I bought those after She Loves Color. I bought them off of Amazon, so I'll try to find them and link them down below if you are interested in making your own kind of flares there, I guess. But that is going to finish off this layout. I hope you guys enjoyed, and we will see you next time. Bye, guys.